The following is an Uncle Neal presentation.
Hi guys. Lots of people ask me, Uncle Neal, you are simply the most good looking, the most intelligent, the best geo teacher there ever is. How can we possibly pass our exams without your help? Well, Uncle Neal is here for you. I'm here right now, live on your phone or mobile device or PSP or whatever you want to call it. Okay? I could be on the interweb, I could be on Fuzzbox, I could be everywhere, but as long as you've got me in your pocket, you're going to pass. So, let's start. Spatial mapping, Rotorua. This is the essay thing that we do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you need to do, when you open the exam, you're going to see a blank piece of paper. At the end of the exam, if that paper's still blank, you get not achieved. Okay? So, here's what you do. You've got to draw your spatial map of Rotorua. Here's how you do it. Rotorua looks like a shield, like a badge. That's the first bit. Make sure you draw McCoy Island in there as well. Right. Now I've got that done, we've got to start locating some features on there. Okay? Using a different colour, red in this case, we're going to look at infrastructure. Okay? Infrastructure, really important. That means roads and railways and all that sort of stuff. So, main highway into town from Hamilton, down Fenton Street, round to Puya and out to Taupo. Another road all the way out here, off to Wakatani, carries on to Tauranga. Okay? That's our roads put on. If you want to label them, that's fine. Wakatani, Tauranga, Taupo, Hamilton. Then, in here, you put on the same colour that you've used and you talk about it. Main roads. And you talk about Tauranga, Wakatani, Hamilton and Taupo. And you're also talking about, if we nip across to this side, accessibility. What does that mean? It means, how easy is it to get to Rotorua? Got it? Good. Next bit. Rotorua Airport. Stick it on there. Okay? And then in your little key, you write it up. Rotorua Airport. Why is that important? It's important because not only does it provide accessibility for New Zealand, but remember, it's also providing accessibility for overseas tourists to come straight into Rotorua direct, making Rotorua the gateway for some tourists that come in here. Remember, gateway means the first part of your journey, the place where you end up and land first, where you're going to spend most of your money. Alright, so Rotorua Airport, really important to put that one on there. Okay, as well as that, we're going to take another colour, in this case blue, and we're just going to highlight Fenton Street. Okay, and in blue I've shaded that, and I'm going to put that on there. Okay, and I'm going to talk about Fenton Street being really important. Okay, Fenton Street, important for what? Well, it's important for motels, some hotels, and is also extremely important for tourists because it's the main road in Rotorua. And I'm writing that in there. Okay? I know you probably can't read this, but Uncle Neal's not going to lie to you. What I'm saying is going on the board. Okay? Right. Now, what we need to do now is nip across here to accommodation. Okay? And accommodation, again, one of our IGIs we're going to use here is location. Location, where things are. So, where is the accommodation in Rotorua? Okay, using our blue pen. Remember, we draw that. Fenton Street. Motels and, oh there I am, motels and some hotels. But mainly, if we use our dots down here, some blue dots, okay, put those on our little key, we're going to say hotels. Why are hotels located? Why are they there? They're there because close to the lake, close to facilities, close to lots of infrastructure around the place. You want your hotels to have a view, and you've got a good view down there right by the lakefront where everything's happening. Now, I'm going to draw a blue triangle. I'm going to put one here, one out here, and one out here. What do they mean? Lodges. Why are the lodges in Rotorua located at places around the lakes? Because your lodges are places where you've got no people hanging around. You don't have to deal with the horrible tourists on a daily basis that there are in Rotorua. You're usually somewhere nice, somewhere private. That's where your big lodges are. So you can see lodges all over the place there as well. Now, what you have to do when you write about these things is you have to start thinking about what words sound geographic and go with this stuff. If you think like Uncle Neal, you'll know that we have a linear pattern of motels in Fenton Street. We have a clustering of hotels around the lakefront, and we have a dispersed pattern of lodges. Okay, motels in a linear pattern because they're on Fenton Street. Clustering of hotels because they're all together around the same area, and these high-end lodges dispersed all over the place. Now, you're saying to yourself, but Rotorua, Uncle Neal, it isn't just about lodges and motels and hotels and if I can get there in a plane or a car. It's about the fun, it's about the attractions. Well, here's a box here that says attractions. Follow Uncle Neal this way. Attractions, ladies and gentlemen. Attractions is where it's at in Rotorua. Now, remember, we have two types of attraction. Primary attractions and secondary attractions. Note, I'm using another colour. Green. Okay? Primary attractions are the geothermal things that we have. So, if you wanted to, you could draw a little geyser or something like that that looked like a geothermal type of thing going off. Okay? And the two main ones that I'm going to put on there are Temporal and Hell's Gate. Those are your main primary attractions in Rotorua. Okay? As well as that, of course, we have the lake. Okay? Lake Rotorua. Why are these attractions the primary attractions? Because when people go to Rotorua, what do they want to do? They want to hike through the forest. They want to fish on the lake. They want to go and see geothermal activity like we did when we went and saw Temporal. Look at that, I'm moving. We want to do all that sort of stuff. So that's the primary attractions. That's the main reason for going there. However, there are secondary attractions. Okay, secondary attractions in Rotorua tend to be clustered together, like skyline sky rides, like the Agrodome. Okay, and they tend to just sit together there. So I'm going to give them a little dot, and I'm giving them, of course, the little geyser. Looks like a volcano erupting or something like that. Those secondary attractions are clustered. Okay, so we'd write up on here clustered, and we'd write down here, draw a couple of lines, dispersed. Okay, and of course the primary attractions are dispersed because they're primary attractions. Nature created them. It didn't say, hey, I'm Mother Nature, I think I'll put everything all together in one place to make it easy for people to come and see. It just happens where it happens. Okay, but people make the secondary attractions, like Skyline Sky Rides, like the Agrodome, like Rainbow and Fairy Springs. Those sort of things all get clustered together. Why? Because of things like accessibility. Makes it easier to get there. Location as well. Alright, so All these things come together. Now if you think about it, that map's really detailed. The reason it's detailed is so that when it comes to writing the essay part of it, which is the second part of this question, you're able to actually write a lot. And the marker is going to go, wow, you've written heaps, but are you actually a geographer? And they'll go, I need to read it a little bit closely to see. And they'll see things like accessibility, location, clustered, linear patterns, dispersed. You'll give them specific examples. Okay? You'll talk about Tapuia. You'll talk about Hell's Gate. You'll talk about Skyline Skyrides, Lake Rotorua, Makoia Island, all those sorts of things. Okay? Remember, there's a lot of secondary attractions down here at the lakefront. We saw a lot of those there as well. We'll draw, a little box or something to show that those were going on. Things like the Lakeland Queen, the paddle boat there, the helicopter tours, the float plane tours, all those things occur down at that lakefront. So when it comes to this essay, the best thing to do is to say, draw what you're going to write and write about what you've drawn. Okay? And then, when you get your mark back, you'll go, not only was Uncle Neal good looking, not only was he smart, but he taught me so well, and I'm able to understand because he's in my pocket. He's on Fuzzbox. He's on YouTube. He's everywhere. The greatest teacher of all time. Now, before I go, I was going to say one more thing, and it's the most important thing. If you've just watched this once, okay, that's good. If you want to share it with somebody else, share it. But you must connect with this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 times equals good marks. Because the 3rd time you look at this, it'll stick in your head. Well, that's all I've got to say for this one. Good luck in the exam, my people. This is Uncle Neal, signing off.